बहुत रही, बहुत रही। बाबुले घर दुल्हनी चले तेरे पीने बुलाई, चले तेरे पीने बुलाई। पाया है मैं, पाया है, पाया है मैं, पाया है ते आप स्वरूप बटाया है, पाया ए तन मेरा चश्मा होवे, ता मैं मुर्शिद मन विच लाई हूँ। लूलू दे मुड़ लख लख चश्मा, ता मैं हिक खोला हिक कज्जा हूँ। कज्जा हूँ। इतनिया डिठिया सब्र ना आवे, ता मैं होर किते बल भज्जा हूँ। भज्जा मुर्शिद दा दीदार है बाहू, मुर्शिद दा दीदार है बाहू, लख करोड़ा हजाहू। हजाहू अल्फ अला चंबे दी बूटी, ते मेरे मुर्शिद मन विच लाई हूँ। नबी असबात दा पानी मिलिया, ता मैं हर रंगे हर जाई हूँ। अंदर बूटी मुश्क मचाया, हत जान पुलड़ ते आई हूँ। लाई हूँ
हल्का सा बूम मॉनिटर पे थोड़ी सी वॉल्यूम बढ़ा दीजिए।
सुनता है, सुनता है, सुनता है, सुनता है गुरु ज्ञानी, ज्ञानी, ज्ञानी। सुनता है गुरु ज्ञानी, 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 ज्ञानी। सुनता है गुरु ज्ञानी, 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 ज्ञानी। गगन में आवाज हो रही, सरोवर जो पानी हो, बिन सरोवर जो पानी हो जी, बिन धरती का मंडल दिसे, बिन सरोवर जो पानी हो जी, गगन मंडल में होए उजियारा, गगन मंडल में होए उजियारा, बोले गुरु मुखवाणी हो, मुखवाणी हो, ये सुनता है गुरु ज्ञानी, ज्ञानी 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 कहे कबीरा, कहे कबीर सुनो भाई साधो, कहे कबीर सुनो भाई साधो, चाहे आगामी हो दिन भर रे जो नजर भर देखे, दिन भर रे जो नजर भर देखे, अजर अमर हो निशानी हो, निशानी हो, ये सुनता है गुरु ज्ञानी, ज्ञानी 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 ज्ञानी, गगन में आवाज हो रही, झीनी 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 झीनी, ये सुनता है गुरु ज्ञानी, सुनता है गुरु ज्ञानी, सुनता है गुरु रघुबर की सुध आई, रघुबर की सुध आई, मुझे रघुबर की सुध आई, रघुबर की सुध आई, रघुबर की
नमस्कार। छोकर और बांगा परिवार की तरफ से मैं आपका धन्यवाद करती हूँ कि आप सब यहाँ आए। जगदीप अपने काम को बहुत सीरियसली लेते थे, लेकिन अपने आप को बिल्कुल भी नहीं, और इसलिए हम फैमिली मेम्बर्स की तरफ से कभी कभी उनके काम का महत्व नज़रअंदाज हो जाता था। पिछले 8-10 दिन में कितने परिवार के सदस्यों ने हमसे यही बोला है कि हमें पता ही नहीं था, और अगर जानकारी थी तो एहसास ही नहीं था कि उनके काम का कितना महत्व था। तो आप आए, आपके व्हाट्सएप मैसेजेस, आपके कॉल्स, मीडिया कवरेज हम सबको फिर से एहसास दिलाते हैं कि जगदीप हमारे बीच एक कितने महान कर्मयोगी थे। और इसी के कारण कहने को तो ये जगदीप की शोक सभा है, लेकिन हमारे लिए ये उनके जीवन का एक उत्सव भी है। जगदीप संगीत का बहुत शौक रखते थे, hence this selection of music lovingly curated by सुनील। वैसे तो जगदीप विस्की का भी बहुत शौक रखते थे, लेकिन आज हम आपको चाय ही पिलाएंगे। In celebration of the life of this remarkable man and that we continue to seek inspiration from him, we have requested 3 of his fellow travelers to share his journey and some of his lifetime and contributions. And his dear friend Rajiv will introduce those speakers to us. But before I hand over, to honor the contrarian that he is and was, I'm just going to say a few words. In the next 20 odd minutes, you are going to hear loving and glowing tributes to Jagdeep. I would like to take 2 minutes to point out how annoying he could be. उनकी एक बहुत गंदी आदत थी कि जगदीप सवाल बहुत पूछते थे। And this really hit me at Lady Hardinge Medical College, where, as many of you know, he donated his body for future research. And at that time, it hit me that this man, after a lifetime service, ये तो मरणोपरांत में सेवा पे जुटे रहने का प्लान बना के गए हैं। तो जो मेरा मामूली सा जीवन है, उनके अपनी लास्ट एक्ट में मेरे सामने वो ये प्रश्न छोड़ गए हैं कि माई लाइफ, वॉट एवर इट इज़, कैन इट बी ऑफ सम यूज टू समवन एट सम टाइम? एंड जगदीप, एज आई रेसल विद दिस क्वेश्चन फॉर मेनी ईयर्स, एज आई टॉगल बिटवीन माई लव एंड ग्रीफ and my admiration and exasperation for you, again, for many, many years to come. Rajiv, over to you.
नमस्कार, मेरा नाम राजीव और मैं उदयपुर से हूँ। जगदीप और किरण के बहुत ही बड़े और समर्पित परिवार का अभिन्न अंग हूँ। जगदीप 12 नवंबर की सुबह अचानक चले गए। कुछ दिन से उनकी तबीयत नासाज तो थी, लेकिन वो इस लंबी और अंतिम यात्रा की तैयारी में थे, शायद ये इल्म हम में से किसी को ना था। जगदीप के जीवन व उनके व्यक्तित्व को कुछ पंक्तियों में समेटना आसान तो नहीं है, बल्कि नामुमकिन है। यहाँ हाजरीन, उनके परिवार, उनके सहकर्मी, उनके अजीज़ मित्र, उनके छात्र, उनके पाठक, उनके इंटरव्यूज़ और ब्रॉडकास्ट के अनेक श्रोता, उनके सहयात्री और कुछ चंद मेरे जैसे मुरीद जिन्होंने उनसे 40 साल तक असीम प्रेम पाया और बहुत डांट भी खाई। और हम सबसे परे यहाँ किरण हैं। किरण जो जगदीप की हम नफस रहीं, हम नवा रहीं, जिन्होंने 50 खूबसूरत साल साथ निभाए। जगदीप का जन्म हरियाणा के रोपड़ ज़िले के खरड़ गांव में हुआ 25 नवंबर 1944, मतलब नवंबर में वो 81 साल के होते। जगदीप की माताजी श्री चंद्रकला व पेशे से तहसीलदार पिता श्री रघुवीर सिंह जी, मुझे अभी मालूम पड़ा कि वो दिल्ली के तहसीलदार थे, समूचे दिल्ली के, कि केवल एक क्षेत्र के नहीं, समूचे दिल्ली के। 5 भाई बहनों की श्रृंखला में जगदीप सबसे छोटे व शरारती थे। बड़ी बहनें उर्मिला जी व विमला जी व 2 बड़े भाई हरदीप जी व कुलदीप जी छोकर। आज कुलदीप जी छोकर हमारे बीच में हैं और उनका परिवार भी साथ ही है। आप सबके दुख व अवसाद में हम सब साथ हैं सर आपके। जगदीप की परवरिश सिविल लाइंस में हुई, वो पुराना वाला सिविल लाइंस जो शांत था, सबरान था, जिसके कई मज़ेदार किस्से हमने सुने जगदीप से। उनकी स्कूलिंग मॉडर्न स्कूल में हुई और उन्होंने सेंट स्टीफन्स में दाखिला लिया, लेकिन 1.5 साल ही रहे, जिसके बाद वे इंडियन रेलवेज उन्होंने ज्वाइन की और वो जमालपुर चले गए। जमालपुर में जगदीप ने मैकेनिकल व प्रोडक्शन इंजीनियरिंग की पढ़ाई की। जमालपुर के अनेक बैचमेट्स भी यहाँ पर हैं, उनमें से एक से हम सुनेंगे। रेलवे की जो तकनीकी और थोड़ी ब्यूरोक्रेटिक जो ऊहापोह है, शायद जगदीप का दिल कुछ कम लगा उसमें और उनका रुझान एकेडमिक वर्ल्ड की ओर हुआ। 1980 तक आते आते जगदीप ने FMS दिल्ली से MBA की डिग्री हासिल कर ली थी और लुइसियाना स्टेट यूनिवर्सिटी में अमेरिका में PhD प्रोग्राम में एनरोल भी हो गए। 1984 में PhD उपाधि प्राप्त कर जगदीप भारत वापस आए। He joined the Indian Institute of Management, Ahmedabad in 1985, and he served it for a glorious, eventful and productive 20 years, finally retiring in 2006. During this period, he served as the Dean of IIM, later also as the Acting Director of the Institute for a year. He taught OB, which is Organizational Behavior. He researched and published extensively, including he became the principal editor of one of the fattest and possibly the most comprehensive volume on culture and leadership across the world. He was a huge draw among students and academics alike, and he was invited to teach in business schools in Australia, France, and Japan. His teaching and research drew and contributed profoundly to theory, but he firmly rejected jargon. No jargon with Jagdeep. सीधी बात करो. As a teacher and writer, he was what you know him to be: very direct, driven by facts and evidence, and of course hugely argumentative. He was the essential argumentative Indian, and thank God for that. Jagdeep had a remarkable second innings post-retirement from IIM. It's enviable, actually. Many of you may not know that at a very delicately ripe age of 57 years, he enrolled to study law in Gujarat University. Whenever he showed up, of course, he created quite a sensation in the class, okay, with mostly 20-year-olds. And we were delighted to know that he was suitably humbled by his fellow students, who also taught him a trick or two about how to pass exams. We learned that from him. Jagdeep earned his law degree in 2006, and it has stood by him for many, many years. Troubled by the state of Indian politics and our political culture, he joined hands with Professor Shastri and colleagues to establish the Association for Democratic Reforms in 1999. And we all know here, Jagdeep's contribution to ADR and to cleaning up the electoral process is immense. He was right up front in every legal battle that ADR has fought, a very visible and fearlessly vocal figure of ADR's mission to make Indian elections transparent and fair. Lesser known to all of you here is Jagdeep's association with my organization, the Ajivika Bureau in Udaipur. We are a labor organization for protection of migrant workers' righs. Jagdeep gave me the inspiration to set it up as a bold new initiative in 2005. He became the founding chairperson and continued to be its trustee till the end. The end does not even sound right for Jagdeep. There is no end to his life and legacy. Like many of you, I will carry a bit of him, bit of Jagdeep in me till my very end. I do not have his courage. I don't have his wit. I don't have his precision, his irreverence, but I have his inspiration, like many of you do too. Jagdeep stood to no ceremony, no ritual, no karmkand. He stood by truth, fairness and justice. And of course, he stood by Faiz, he stood by Momin, Ghalib, Mir, Shakil and Zauq. And I'm grateful for the countless evenings I have shared with Jagdeep and Kiran in the company of these immortal shires. We will continue to do this, Kiran. Thank you, Jagdeep, for being in our lives. May I invite Professor Shastri to say a few words about his contribution to ADR in his association.
Welcome, friends. Welcome to the friends who have joined us online. We are here to reflect on the life and contribution of Professor Chhokar. He's already given us a lot of facts, Rajiv. There are hundreds of articles, some well-known people are in the hall who have already covered many facts about him. So what, in the few minutes we would like to do here is to discuss about Jagdeep as a person. So here goes. So some time back, a few days ago, we were all sitting very glum. So he showed up with this same smile. You go and see his photograph. And he said, "Why are you looking so sad?" I lived life on my terms and I departed on my terms. So we asked him, on what terms did you live your life? He said, "I did what I wanted to, I did what I believed in, and I had a lot of fun doing that." And then the same smile that you will see, please go and see it, sardonic, witty smile, mischievous smile. He said, nation building kar rahe the. That was one of his favorite phrases. He said, nation building kar rahe hain. Very good. So we asked him, "But what fun did you have, Jagdeep? You had so many setbacks. ADR had so many setbacks, so many challenges." So I will not bore people with Urdu, but I'll just read the translation. He said, "I go laughing and playing with waves of adversity. If life were easy, it would be unbearable." So he didn't mind the adversity. Now, what fun did he have doing nation building? You know, if you reflect, he used to get up early until a few years back and make himself a big cup of tea, because Kiran wouldn't have got up, and settle down and read all the newspapers in Hindi and English from cover to cover, particularly paying attention to anything to do with democracy, elections, campaigns, speeches, election commission, regulations, Supreme Court judgments. He would spend an enormous amount of time keeping up to date on digital media and the TV channels, keeping up. He was a walking encyclopedia on current affairs in democracy and elections. He used to read every judgment and petition, meticulously underlining everything. That was important. And he was again a walking encyclopedia on all the major legal issues and developments in Indian democracy since independence. So he was also writing and speaking regularly on TV. Many of us have seen him. All of you have seen him. And not satisfied with this huge amount of work, he used to get phone calls from journalists every day, at least during certain important periods. And very patiently, for hours on end, he would explain to the young journalists all the nuances of elections, democracy, and whatever issue they had called him for. This amount of Herculean work for 25 years, you know, it's something that one has to reflect on. So what did he get out of this Herculean labor? You know, you reflect, why did he work for 25 years? What did he get out of this? Because I have never met a person who read everything thoroughly, understood it, digested it, and he always spoke with facts. So you ask, why did he do this? What did he get out of it? So here goes. ADR received many awards. Personally, he never went to receive any of these awards. He always sent others. Others went and received these awards. 3 times, a very famous chairman of IIM Ahmedabad offered him the directorship of IIM Ahmedabad. Kiran knows more about it than I do. And 3 times he refused the crown, like a famous Roman emperor several thousand years ago. And what did he get in return? He was on the marked list of Pegasus. He got a crown of thorns. That was his reward for the work that he got. So this reminds you of, I'm slightly paraphrasing Bhagat Singh's statement. So Jagdeep seems to be he was trying to tell us, with no expectation of reward here or hereafter, I have lived for Indian democracy and for my country. He just proved it by the life that he read. So we thought, we were all watching him and listening to him, so what fun. So we asked him, if you had so much fun, why did you leave? Then he said, you see, I was with Kiran for 50 years, and I think I was becoming a bit of a nuisance for her. going in and out of hospitals, and she also had to sit up at night. And I thought it's better to leave. And as Rajiv has told us, he left along with Kiran and Madhvi and other friends directly to the medical college where his body was donated. So he left on his own terms. He told us in the beginning, I lived life on my terms and I left on my own terms. So he was going to go. So we said, wait. Don't you have a parting message for us? So he came and he put his hands on the chair and he looked at us directly in the eyes, a group of us who were sitting there. And he said, work with the youth, work with the young people. Let them understand that in a democracy, praja hi prabhu hai. People, citizens are supreme. If they understand this, let them not wait for the government or some leader to solve the problems. Let them come together and solve it themselves. But not merely out of sentiment and emotion and ideology. Let them study, let them understand what democracy is, and then let them come together and do something. And his advice to us was, why don't you work with the youth and do something? He looked at the few of us who were sitting there from ADR, and he said, I am a little worried, for last 10 years, you guys haven't been able to raise any money. India needs not one ADR, India needs 100 ADRs. And I hope that the people of this country will support you so that ADR continues to thrive. Then he came back to the rest of the group and he said, if the youth can come together, if the youth can work together in a selfless way, owning the country and saying we are the masters, Indian democracy will be strengthened, India will become a great nation. And he said, Jai Hind, and then he left. So just one sentence more I'll add. You see, we meet so many people in life, and people like us who are involved in so-called public life, we meet many interesting people. But I have never met anybody like Jagdeep. I'm sure many of you have not. So it's difficult to summarize such a giant. He was brilliant, he was selfless. He was hardworking and he was very practical. He got things done. He's not just giving gyan. And above all, he was very courageous and very compassionate, and he really cared for his family, his friends, his relatives, for the country. And if we can take forward his legacy, I think wherever he is, he will be happy. So thank you all for coming.
Thank you, Professor Shastri. May I call upon Shri Vinay Sehgal from the Indian Railways, an old associate, friend from Jamalpur, to say a few words about Jagdeep sir.
I have to confess that I'm a little emotional today, so you will pardon me for that. As I stand before this distinguished audience, I have to confess that I have very mixed emotions today. One part of me naturally grieves the loss of a good friend, and the other part feels that he lived a life so glorious that it needs to be celebrated. Instead of dwelling on his many achievements that have been spoken about and written about by so many, I would prefer to focus on his personal attributes and speak to you about how much he meant to those of us who had the privilege of knowing him as a person, and how much he meant to all of us with the privilege that we had of knowing him intimately. We were alumni of the same institution in Jamalpur, and both of us did our mechanical engineering from there. I was 5 years his senior, but I still remember the vicarious pride that we all felt when he was appointed as Dean of IIM Ahmedabad and later as his director. The friendship was renewed after he retired and moved to Delhi. He would regularly email me with articles of interest, and I would do the same to him. And we exchanged about 4,000 messages during this period. Just a few days before he passed away, he sent me an article on AI-powered stethoscopes. Alas, that was the last that I heard from him. He had a great love of poetry and music. He was equally at home with English, with Hindi, with Urdu, and had a great sense of humor. He enjoyed a good laugh at any time. There are so many precious memories that we have. For example, when my late wife and I, we were in Sao Paulo in Brazil, we bumped into Kiran and Jagdeep while we were out on a walk. But that was not the only coincidence. He also had the same birthday as my late wife, 25th of November. He was completely fearless. I would often tell him that he had annoyed so many people that he better look after his personal safety. But he was totally undaunted. And he always said that one has to go only once. And he was completely without any fear or without any hesitation. He would escape to Goa whenever he could. He celebrated his 80th birthday there. And Kiran very kindly invited me, but unfortunately we could not meet up for his birthday. But we made up for it, and we had a very nice afternoon in Goa. I can only conclude by saying that we are gathered today to commemorate the life of a true giant among men. One who left behind a legacy which is going to be very difficult to fill. He has left giant shoes on the footsteps of the sands of time. ADR and all the other institutions that he was associated with have lost a mentor and the driving force. I have lost a true friend. Kiran has lost a life partner. But it's an object lesson in the finitude of everything in life. Jagdeep, may you rest in eternal peace. You may have shed the mortal coil, but you will live on in our hearts forever. Thank you.
May I finally call upon Dr. Kalpana Maniktala, Kiran's sister and Jagdeep's sister-in-law, to say a few words.
Hello everyone, namaskar. Thank you all for being here. As Rajiv just said, my name is Kalpana and I'm Kiran's younger sister and Professor Chhokar's sister-in-law. On behalf of my sister and the rest of our family, I would like to thank you all for being here. As you're already aware, we have lost an amazing human being and the world is left with a void that can never be filled. You've already heard about all the professional achievements and gifts to humanity that this great person made. But I'm here to tell you what he meant to his family. He was the kindest, most helpful person who had a strong moral compass. He was always there to support not only my sister, but all of us, his brothers, sisters, nieces, nephews, and many dear family and friends. Okay, thanks. The way he took care of Kiran's and my mother in her later years was truly remarkable. In fact, one of our aunts used to call him Devta. He was one. To me, he was my beloved older brother, my JB, Jagdeep Bhaiya. He came into my life 50 years ago when he and my sister got married. From then on, he was this steady presence in my life, someone who was always there to help me and guide me. And let me tell you, despite his somewhat gruff exterior and sometimes wicked sense of humor, he was a softie. In fact, my daughters called him Teddy Bear when they were little and have continued to refer to him as that even though they're now young adults. We were all blessed to have a granddaughter 2.5 years ago, and she was the light of his life. It is going to be really sad to not have him around to guide her as she grows up. But I know that his blessings will be with her and with all the other kids who were precious to him. JB and my sister supported each other's academic pursuits and traveled the world. They made friends wherever they went. We were very fortunate to take some memorable vacations with them. The last one, just earlier this year, to Thailand and Cambodia. We had plans for many more, but unfortunately it wasn't meant to be. JB had the biggest heart and the strongest shoulders that we could all lean on. He defied death a couple of times in his life, which deluded us into believing that he would be around forever. And how I wish that was true. But ultimately and ironically, it was his strong shoulder and his big heart that gave out and took him from us. He gave so much to so many that it's now his turn to rest. So rest in peace, my dear JB. We will miss you forever. But we will try our best to emulate the wisdom of your ways. Thank you.
So I'm Jagdeep Uncle's nephew, Nikhil. About, I think it was 3 or 4 years ago, when Jagdeep Uncle's name turned up on the Pegasus list. And he gave this interview to The Hindu, saying, what's wrong with them? It costs 1 crore to run Pegasus on someone. Why are they wasting this money on me? So I called him up and I had the privilege of being able to scold him. And I said that you're not impacted, you don't care, but there are hundreds of other people on that list. So I convinced him to go to court on Pegasus. And I haven't ever worked with him before, but I can tell you that he pushed us really hard to keep fighting. And, the word fearless has been said a few times now and over the past few weeks, over the past week. But really for me, the defining characteristic of the Jagdeep Uncle was irreverence. he didn't care what other people thought of him and what people in power thought of him. In fact, he thought less of people in power than people without it. And it is that irreverence is his legacy. It's as much as it is about fighting for protecting democratic rights. And he has been available to so many people fighting for those rights, that his legacy is also not just what he did, but it is what people who he inspired will go on and do with their own sense of irreverence about things. We wanted to celebrate his life today, and that's what today is about. His pursuit of meaning, his drive to make things better, his doggedness, perseverance, positivity, and confidence in calling truth to power is what has endeared him to so many people. We've got hundreds and thousands of messages. For us in his family, it was as much about his chiding and joking and poking fun, and his way of making you stronger was also to poke fun at you. So thank you all for joining us in remembering this incredible man. So our family is outside the auditorium in case you'd like to meet them. And then I'd request you to join us in the veranda across the lawn for tea. And in case you have a message for the family or a message for Jagdeep uncle, there's a condolence book outside. I think of it more as a remembrance book and a message for him. Thank you for joining us today. Thank you.